Hello and welcome to the Rhobin podcast. If you are interested in any kind of fiber arts like knitting, a little bit of crochet and embroidery, this is a good place for you to be at, and I hope you have a good time listening to me. Hi, my name is Rhoda. I live in Toronto. I live with my husband Sam, and I am a knitter, a crocheter, and now a podcaster. I just started this to be able to share what I'm doing to a community that could understand what I'm talking about, and it's been going well so far. I've been enjoying talking about things I make, and it's been wonderful. So welcome to another episode. Now, I'm sorry about my voice. I've just been coming off a cold, so if you feel my voice is a little iffy, I hope you bear with me. I am looking at my first finished object. This is the Oon sweater by November Knits. I'll just show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. I did make a few modifications and I'll talk about that quickly. I've seen a lot of other podcasters talk about it as well, and there are quite a number of projects on Ravelry. It is supposed to be knit on using worsted weight and on 5mm needles. That is the first modification I made. So this is worsted weight, but I knit on 5.5mm needles. That's because this yarn is pretty new to me. This yarn is Pearl Soho's Hedgerow, and this is the colorway Golden Meadow. This yarn is non-superwash merino. It has 3% silk, 3% cashmere, and the rest of it is just non-superwash merino wool. I have actually never knit on non-superwash wools before, so this is one of my first projects. And so now that I'm wearing it, I do feel it's a little scratchy, but as I keep wearing it, my skin just gets used to it, and I intend to see if I can try and get used to it. I wore it for a whole day after I knit this, and it seemed comfortable, but as soon as I put it on, it does feel a little itchy. And of course, this being the way it is, I am not wearing another layer inside, and so it is in direct contact with my skin. This sweater is actually made, it's just a simple raglan sweater. This is the folded down collar. I chose to knit it long and then fold it down and sew it. But there are instructions where you can do a provincial cast on and then double knit it, fold it down and knit it together once you start the body. This is a simple raglan sweater. What attracted me to this pattern was this. I like this. I like the wide raglan, and this was really fun to knit. The next specification, or the next feature of this sweater, was that it has a high slit, and then it opens up on the sides. Now, I was a little nervous about the high opening, and so I knit the body a little lower and then did the opening. Now, this is what I did. So this ribbing goes right into the raglan. Nothing big. The raglan, this is exactly how the pattern was designed. But over here, I decided to carry it down the sides and then into the ribbing. Now, this is the modification I made. The opening ideally is supposed to be somewhere here, but I decided to bring it down a little lower. So if you see, it is above my hip bone. This is around my belly button. And I did the back first. I did the back panel first. And then I picked up on the inside and did the front as well. That way I have a little extra coverage. So even if I lift, and then there is a split, but my skin is not shown, so that is a good thing. The next thing I did was I made buttonholes on this edge. There are 3 buttonholes, and I have decided to sew on some buttons. So these are the buttons I have. These, let me see. Yeah, those are the buttons I have. So I've decided I'll sew this on. The other modification I also wanted to make was to add some embroidery. I wanted it to go onto the collar and just down one side of the sleeve. And I was planning for it to be either in orange or blue or green, because if you look at this yarn, you'll see it's got some speckles. It's got some orange, purple, blue, and green speckles. So I thought I'll do an embroidery that would go along with the yarn. But now that I've decided to put the buttons, I am not sure I want to do the embroidery. I feel like it would be too much. So I'm thinking I'll just stick to the buttons. And I'm also thinking, I did make buttonholes for 3 buttons, but I'm thinking I'll just maybe do 2 buttons. I'll see how it looks and then make a decision about 3. So yeah, those are the modifications I've made. It was a pleasant knit. It went really quick. I actually did, every time I knit on this, I went on Ravelry and just updated what I did. And I've actually knit on this for a total of 7 days. The first part, the raglan, from the collar to the end of the raglan was just a day, and then the body took about 2 days. The sleeves took a little longer because it started getting a little boring by then. Not boring, but then I wanted it to be done, but and then I wanted to cast on something else, and so this felt like a drag. I also decided to not, I initially thought I'll do the sleeves really long. So if you see, this is the bracelet length. I thought I'll do the sleeves till here, but then I realized that most of the times when I am outside, I'm also doing a lot of things. I'm running around, I am either carrying something or just I'm just very busy, and I'm always doing something with my hands. And so I decided that this is better, especially with the sleeves being this long. The ribbing is not really tight, so I decided to leave it short. And actually, before when I finished blocking, just after I blocked, the sleeves were till here, and over time, I haven't even washed it after I blocked it, but it has shortened quite a bit. And so, but I'm happy with the length. I've decided not to change anything. I do have extra yarn if I want to, but I've decided not to change. I like how this looks. The only issue with this is I cannot wear it inside a jacket. I did try wearing it on, I wore this on Sunday, and I wore a jacket, and this was a jacket which also was on the, it was on a more fitted side, and so I had to squeeze my sleeves in, and it was very uncomfortable. I think by the end of the day, not by the end of the day, by the time I reached church, I had rashes on my on the inside of my elbows, and I tried not to wear it much after. And so I wore it only when I was getting into the car or getting into the transit, and as soon as I got into a warmer place, I removed the jacket, so that did not happen again. So I've decided not to wear this for the rest of winter. I think I'll take it out during spring when I do need something warm, but I do not need another outer layer. There's another thing about the fabric. Now this is one of those yarns that does not bloom. So I also knit this on a larger gauge. I knit it on 5.5, whereas the recommended needle was 5. And so if you look at it, it feels very meshy. There is one part over here which is pretty gappy, but the rest, it is a very meshy fabric. It is not see-through though, at least when it's on me. I do not feel it is see-through. So yes, that's something you'll want to keep in mind. The reason I did the 5.5 instead of the 5 was that, first of all, I like the fabric this way. When I did the 5 and then I blocked it, I did not like it as much as I liked the 5.5 because this had better drape. And so I went on with the 5.5 and I sized down. Usually the size I knit for myself is size 4. I sized down to size 3 and you can see that this is still a lot of positive ease. If I had done size 4 and then it still had this much positive ease, I might have not appreciated it as much. I do like oversized garments, but I feel this is a good width to be oversized because it's quite a lot already. And so I'm happy I went with size 3. So I sized down, went up a needle size just for the fabric and the comfort, and I really like it. I also like the armhole depth. The last sweater I knit, the Hepatica sweater, while I liked how the sleeve felt, I liked the overall style of the sweater, I felt the armhole was quite low. And it was comfortable, it was convenient until I wore out. And when I wore out, every time I lifted my hand, the hem of the sweater would come quite high and I had to be very, very careful. Again, I was telling you I'm somebody who moves around a lot, so that was a little uncomfortable and I had to be aware of, be really careful every time I lifted my hands. And so I decided that now when I knit sweaters, while I want to have a comfortable armhole depth, I'm also going to be careful about how deep it is, because I realized the more deeper it is, the higher the hems go when you lift your hands up. But with this, it's a very, very convenient, comfortable length, and I like it. So I've decided to keep this as my magic number for the armhole depth, and then every sweater I knit, I'll probably knit based on this. Even with the ease, I feel this is a good ease, because there are some sweaters that would recommend quite a lot of ease. In fact, even this, I think it had about 10 to 15 centimeters of positive ease. And so I've decided that this is the kind of ease that I'm really, really comfortable with. I feel as the sizes go bigger, or at least my size, I don't know about bigger sizes, I'll just talk about my size, and I feel size 4 with more ease makes you look more bulky. I'd rather have a little a garment with lesser ease or more fitted, and I feel more confident with how it looks. So this is my own sweater. I love it. I like that. I'm happy I went for the color yellow, and I've decided that this is a good spring color. It did stand out, because if you look at what people usually wear in winter, it's a lot of grays, blues, black, brown, and when I was wearing this, I stood out in the crowd. I liked it. I did get a lot of compliments, but I've decided I'll take it out in spring. I feel it's more of an appropriate color for spring. Not just that, like I told, I do not want to wear a jacket over, but I still would like this on me so I feel warm enough. And so I'm gonna take this out in spring, probably Easter. I'll take this out at Easter and then wear it after. So this is gonna be my Easter sweater. The next finished object was a hat. This was a classic ribbed hat by Pearl Soho. I'll put a picture of it here. It's gonna be a picture that is not in very good lighting because I finished it towards the evening. We had no sunshine and I just turned on the light and took a picture of it. It is now given away. This was made for my godson and he's here. He is handsome and the hat fit him, so I'm happy. Yes, so it's gone. So that was my second finished object. About the hat, there's not much to say. This is the third classic ribbed hat I've made, and this hat is in the color Robin Egg, and the other one I think is the color Admiral. The border, the darker blue, is Admiral, and both of these are hand dyed by Tammy from A Chick That Knits, and I chose the colors to match a sweater that I had made for him, and so both of them are given away and he's been wearing it. I'll move on to my works in progress. I want to start with something I am very excited about. It is my Spring Fling sweater. So Spring Fling is a pattern by the Petite Knitter. She is somebody who lives in Nunavut, and she has lovely color work patterns. What I realized about her patterns is, when I first saw her patterns, I was very intimidated by it, but after knitting this sweater, I feel a little more confident to try other patterns of hers. What I like about her patterns is they are monochromatic. What I mean by monochromatic is they have one color and then another either lighter or darker shade of the same color, or it's just white and this color, or cream and this color, and her contrast colors are usually browns and grays and black, and I really like the aesthetics of her color choices. And after knitting this, I figured those are very doable color work sweaters. I'll just show it before I go on. So I finished the yoke. So this is the Spring Fling sweater. I finished the yoke. I've actually split for the sleeves. I'm trying to, yeah. So this is the sleeve, and I've put this is the stitch holder from the Gentle Island something. I'll put the name of the Etsy shop here, and these are like the cute, they have baby pigs on them, and it's a very cute stitch holder. So what I do is every time I split for sleeves, I take the 16-inch cords. This is from Knit Picks, and then I put the sleeve stitches on hold, so it's easy for me to transfer and work on them later. And it also forces me to work on one sweater at a time, because these are not going to be available for another sleeve until I finish this sweater. So that way it helps me slow down with my knitting. Apart from that, about this pattern, now it started with it's a round yoke. Is that what you call it? Yeah, it's a round yoke, and it's got some concurrent increases. So it just started that way, and then it started off with the color work, and the rest of the body is going to be in the contrast color. And I learned a lot of skills when I started working on this. The first skill I learned was holding what do you call it, combination knitting. I'm a continental knitter, so I usually hold the yarn on my left hand, but I also learned to English knit with my contrast color, and then I had to use my right hand. And the second thing I learned was to catch floats. There were a couple of places where I had to catch floats. Actually, I think there are only 2 rows for each repeat where you have to catch floats, because there are about 6 stitches in between. As the motifs grow bigger, there are 8 stitches in between, but it wasn't challenging, surprisingly. I found it easy, so I thought I'll watch a tutorial, and I was just knitting, and I had it in mind that okay, when it comes to the portion where I'll have to start holding my where I'll have to start catching floats, I will watch a tutorial. But then as I was knitting, I ended up catching floats, and I didn't know I was catching floats, and it seemed a lot more simple. And this is what the inside looks like. So if you can see, I've been good with catching my floats. And I tried it on. It's okay. And I am so excited to finish this. I've been feeling I've been knitting more selfishly lately, because this is gonna be the third sweater that I'm making for myself. But I'm also trying not to feel guilty about it, because I do need sweaters, and all these years, every time I've knit or crocheted, I've always made it for somebody. And while I like it, I am still gonna do it. I feel that it is good for me to start building my hand knit wardrobe as well. So the first sweater I knit this year was the Hepatica sweater. That was for me. It was beige with some striped color, different stripes. The next one was this Oon sweaters. It's yellow. This is what do I call this color? It's like purple, pink, and cream. And I want to knit at least another 5 garments for me this year, and the rest are going to be gift knits anyway. So yes, I've been enjoying this. Now I'm on to the mindless stockinette portion, and I'm gonna slow down on this. The color work was very interesting. It kept me captivated for quite some time, and I was so excited to work on this. So here's something I'm going to do. Because I'm going to be slowing down on this, I am going to put a stitch marker, so the next time we talk about this, we could talk about progress. And I do hope I slow down. This is the stitch marker I got from the Gentle Island Knits, is what I'm going to call it for now. So I'm going to put it over here. It's a simple clasp stitch marker, and there we go. So it's over here. It's a chipmunk. Oh, where is it? It is a little chipmunk. I don't know if it's focusing. Okay. So I got a set of 4 of these, and I'm just going to use them as progress markers. The goal is not to have more than 3 going at a time. So that's also going to help me slow down, so I do not cast on too many things and then have it all on a hold while and get overwhelmed about what I'm going to work on next. So this can now slow down. I want to get this finished only by early April, because again, I want to wear this without a jacket. This is going to be short sleeves though. So I may wear it with a jacket, but I'll see. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it wearing past May. May is still gonna be in, the temperature might still be between 10 and 20, so it's okay. But June I know is gonna get warmer, so I won't get to wear it much in June. And autumn, I feel by the time it's fall, I don't think I want to wear anything with flower motifs, but I'll never know. I did manage to take a picture of this before I joined in the round. Just when I finished the yoke, I blocked it. I took a picture, and I'll see if I can post a picture over here. So I feel this is a good beginner color work project. It's just 2 colors, and there are not too many floats to catch. So this is a good beginner color work project, and if you are looking at starting color work this year, you're looking for a project, this is a good place to start. This is the Spring Fling sweater by the Petite Knitter. My next work in progress, it's actually a new cast on, is this one. It is a shawl. It is called the Eye Blink shawl. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. Now that I did color work, I feel I can do anything. And I wanted to try lace. I've talked about this before. Lace is not something I would gravitate towards, but this is a gift knit, and I know this person would love something that's a lace, that has lace in it. So it's a simple shawl. It is a free pattern. This is how much I have going on so far. This is supposed to be knit on a very loose gauge. So this is knit on 4.5 millimeter needles and it's fingering weight yarn. This yarn is an Oopsie yarn from Surella. This I got early last year. So I think this is superwash merino, and it's got the gold. It's got the gold in it. I don't know what material it is, but I'm gonna put it over here so you can see. So this is what it looks like. The edges already have some eyelets on it, and the border is gonna have a large lace section. And I started this early this week. This was supposed to be a meeting knit because it's just back and forth. Also started it because the spring fling sweater is knit on 3.5 millimeter needles, DK yarn, and it's been a little difficult. I feel the gauge is too tight. You would have known by now I go for very breezy, looser gauge projects, but I hit gauge with that and I did not want to change it because it was color work. I was worried about any modifications that I would have to make, so I stuck with what the pattern suggested. And so I cast this on to just give my wrist a break, because this again is knit on loose gauge and I don't really have to worry too much about holding it tight or really manipulating the stitches to work on it. So this is the eye blink shawl. I'm gonna put another marker just to track progress, and then we'll track progress. We'll see how far we've gone the next time we have a chat. There we go. This we'll talk about again next time. I don't know how far I would get, but I'm not in a hurry to finish anything now. Everything I'm working has deadlines that are really far away, so I'm not going to be rushing on anything I'm working on. My next working project again does not have too much happening. This is the Felix cardigan by Amy Christophers. This was something somebody asked me to make for them, and I need to be done with this by April. But every time I knit something for myself, I have this in the back of my mind that I need to finish this. Somebody has actually asked me for this, and what if I did not finish it on time or give it to them on time? So I cast this on to just get started. Now that I've started it, I feel I'm gonna finish it soon, because this is again knit on large gauge. This is knit on 6 millimeter needles, and I am using Wool of the Andes tweed. This is in the colorway Rabbit Heather. This is what the swatch look like. So I am knitting the size 3, and I hope it goes quickly. The person who, so the Felix cardigan, one of the features that I love about the Felix cardigan is the lace. It's just eyelets, but it has a very nice lace pattern on the raglans. But the person I'm knitting for asked me not to make the lace, to skip the lace, so I've just been increasing without the yarn overs that the pattern actually requires, and it's been going really fast so far. I think I'm gonna make one of these for me next year probably, and then make it a little longer version so I can throw it on dresses, or make it a cropped version so I can throw it on dresses. I'll have to think about it. But this is the Felix cardigan. I do have another work in progress. This is my penny gloves. I'm actually going to bring it with the basket so it's easier for me. This is the penny gloves, and you can see I'm in the middle of a round. I'm using a magic loop and I'm still in the middle of the round. This is actually where I'm actually at the point where I need to separate for the thumb gusset, and that's where I've stopped. Now my goal for this year was to make at least one penny glove every month so that by the time Christmas comes around I have enough gift knits ready to go. But I'm late by a month already. I'm not gonna put pressure on myself. This is just something that's on the side, a quick knit if there's some, if I feel like I have an evening free and I can quickly knit something, I'm going to just reach out for this, because this you can finish one glove in about a couple of hours. So I'm not going to, it just takes an hour or two to finish one. So if I have to finish a pair, I would need maybe half a day. So I'm not going to push myself to finish this. This could be a very mindless weekend knit. This, if you can see, this is what it's looking like. The speckled yarn is a leftover sock yarn from Surella. I think this is the colorway, I believe, in People. Yes, I guess that's the colorway. So this is what it looks like. I am holding it with Alpaca Suri. This is from one of the spring colorways. I forgot the name of the colorway. I'll just put it up here if I remember, if I can find it, because this was something I purchased. The Alpaca Suri I purchased a couple of years ago, and I did not use it at all. So I ended up using it for the penny glove last year, and I really liked how it felt, and so I decided to use the Alpaca Suri only for the penny gloves. At least found a use for it, and I'm happy. I didn't want to give it away, or I didn't want it to go to waste, so I'm happy I found a pattern that I could use it with. Now this, I started my spring cleaning early, and I came across this. I spoke about this in the yarn review that I did for Knit Picks. Not yarn review, I guess it could be a yarn roundup that I did for Knit Picks. And this is again Wool of the Andes tweed. Now I had put this away safely, so these are the yarns that I've been using. These are very pretty yarns. I really like this yarn line. This is Wool of the Andes tweed, same as the yarn that I'm using for the Felix pullover. This is the color Barn Door Heather. I can totally see a barn door being this color. And this, I forgot what this is, but this is the green colorway. I think this is the Wreath Heather. And this is Marine Heather. Don't quote me on the colorways. I'm just gonna look it up and I'll correct it if I'm wrong. This is the colorway Down Heather, and this is Welly's Heather. So those are the yarns that I've actually put together in this blanket. Now this blanket is called the Pilsen blanket, and this is a pattern by Tony from TL Yarn Crafts. This is a Tunisian crochet pattern. So this is what it looks like. What you normally do is you actually start at the bottom. So I start at the bottom, you do one, and then go up an entire column, and then you start over here. So you actually join yarn to this bottom, you go on, and then you build, and as you build, you pick up stitches from the side. So this, you actually do not make separate blocks and then sew them together. You actually pick stitches and go on. So it is a very mindless knit. It does not take it's not too much trouble at all. But this is very similar to knitting stockinette, because you would feel the edges roll, and so you need a border to secure it. As of now, this is where I am at, and I'm halfway through this, and I have this and this going on. So I have 3 more columns to go, Once I finish it, then I would just do the border. I want to see which color is left more. It could either be Welly's heather or down heather. Down heather is the cream, Welly's heather is the black one. So I don't know, whichever color is left more, I'll just pick one of those to do the border. I would prefer it to be down heather because I would feel it is a little more lighter, and I like lighter colors. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But I'll see how much yarn is left because it's gonna be massive and the border is gonna be single crochet, so I want to be mindful about how much yarn I have and hopefully make a good call based on that. So this is actually what I've done. I have alternated down heather, so I wanted to keep the blanket as light as possible, so you'll see I've actually put down heather as much as I can, and then I've alternated. It's actually this way, let me hold it this way, so it's actually this way. So I've alternated the darker and the red color, the black and the red color with cream in between, and I have alternated the blue and the green with cream in between. The actual pattern is not like this. She used the same yarn, but the colors she used are more lighter colors. It's got orange and pink and yellow, and it's a very, very nice palette. But I felt that was more of a summer palette. I feel if I'm going to use this as a throw, I would use it more in winter, and I wanted some winter colors. And so I picked these colors. I also feel these are more Christmassy. The first time I saw this and I looked at the tweed in this, I felt they look like sparkles. And that was one of the reasons that I actually picked this. Because I didn't know what tweed yarn was back then. I just felt it looked like sparkles. And so this is something I really want to finish because winter is almost coming to an end. I want to make sure it's at least done in time for spring. And so if I am curling up on the chair that I usually work from, the recliner, I could just use this to stay warm and at least keep my feet warm. And so this is something I want to finish. It's not gonna finish soon. I want to try and finish at least one block a day. I think it might take a month or two to finish. If I finish fast, good. That is the ideal goal, but I am going to go slow. I do not want to rush I do not want to rush with any craft that I'm doing this year. I do not want to put pressure on myself, even if it is gift knitting. Nobody actually asked me to gift knit for them, but I feel like I put a lot of pressure, and I want to finish it on time for the birthday or anniversary, and I'm just going to take it slow this year. It's okay if I do not finish things in time for someone's birthday or anniversary. I could always give it to them later, but I want to take that time, enjoy it, use that extra time to think about that person, pray for them, and see how I can be a better blessing to that person. So I'm not going to rush into even finishing this. I want to take my time and do it slowly. So this is the Pilsen blanket. So those are my works in progress. Knitting plans, I'm trying hard not to have any, but this has been a time where I've just been having so many thoughts and ideas about patterns I want to try. There's one I cannot get out of my head. It's the Argyle top. It is a very summer pattern, and I have the yarn for it. I have it's the Quince & Co.'s Sparrow. I have the yarn ready, linen yarn. It's 100% linen, and I feel like it would go well with this top, but it's a summer pattern, and I do not want to cast on too much and then put pressure to finish. I want to finish at least one project before I cast something else on, and I feel by the time I'm ready to cast something else on, it might not even be the Argyle top. So I want to go slow and really think about what I want to cast on next. So I'm trying not to have any knitting plans. Um, with that, I do have one acquisition. I want to talk a little about it. Now, this year was one of the years where I felt I have to knit out of stash, finish projects that are lying around like this one. I do not have too many projects lying around. This, I feel, was a massive project, and I was a pretty new crocheter, and I should have known what I was getting into when I started, because this has been a blanket that's been 2 years in the making and I have not finished it. So I'm gonna take the next few months to finish this. But yeah, I've just been wanting to finish projects that are either lying around or projects that are halfway done, and I want to either finish it or reclaim that yarn and use it for another project. And knitting out of stash is another goal. Now Surella has a Oopsie yarn sale twice a month, and I decided that I will buy this yarn. One of the things that actually makes the Oopsie yarn sale very attractive to me is that you cannot pick the colors. You just tell her what kind of colors you're looking for and she puts the colors together, and I low-key like the surprise element of this Oopsie sale, and so I went ahead and ordered yarn from the Oopsie sale. I just said a dark colorway, and I ordered the Stellina yarn because I have yarn in other, like the sock yarn, and the other yarns I have enough, but I wanted to try the Stellina yarn. I did last year, which is the eye blink shawl that I was showing you earlier, and I really liked what she sent. It was the same thing. I said a darker color, Stellina. I did the same thing this year, and I want to show you what yarn she sent. This is the yarn she sent this time. So this is Stellina yarn. I really do not know what colorways these are, but I am so pleasantly surprised. I feel like I could alternate these two, or I could just put these two in a scarf or a shawl and put these two in a t-shirt, and then use it for layering in spring. I do not have plans for these. I'm not rushed to make plans for the. I'm not in a rush to make plans for these. I'm just gonna put this aside, think about it, and then make a call on what I want to use it in. But I really like how the colors go together. I appreciate her eye for color. I really appreciate her eye for color. I like how she puts things together, and I'm happy I ordered this Oopsie yarn. So this Oopsie yarn actually I think is about $10 less per skein, and I enjoy it because of the element of surprise. I also like the idea that something that was not perfect is going on sale and it can be reused. And also I like the idea of a discount. Last year I went overboard and I got about 12 skins. Some were DK weights. One was a silk sock and one was Stellina. I finished using the silk sock completely. I used it for hats, I used it for a summer top, and I used it for a headband. The Stellina I still have. The cashmere DK, I used it for a cardigan for my sister, so it was good use, and I intend to make good use of this as well. But I really did enjoy the Oopsie collection, Oopsie sale. What else? I do want to talk about the knit night I went to. I think I spoke about this 2 episodes, or at least 1 episode ago. I did go to the knit night, and I kind of enjoyed it, but I'm not a very social person, and so it was very uncomfortable. I did push myself to go out of my comfort zone and sit with a group of people and knit. I was able to make conversation just with one person next to me, but I felt it was very awkward and I was out of place, and I decided not to go for a knit night in at least that place again. I want to try maybe another place and see if I don't know if it's the place or it's just me. It most probably is just me, but I want to give it another try before I give up on it completely. That's how the knit night went. The next thing I'm looking forward to is Knit City, and I booked tickets. I'm forcing Sam to come with me. He seems he's fine with coming yarn shopping or doing the girly shopping with me. He actually has a good eye for color. He would know the names of colors and the differences between shades. For me, I would just see, for me, if there's a range of colors in pink, for me all of them look pink, but he would know, oh, this is darker pink, this is mauve, or I don't know, he'll know the names of the colors as well. So when it comes to just looking at yarn, I know it's going to be nice to have him around, and I know he'll like it. He likes the back in India when we used to shop, he used to like feeling the fabric, and he would know about the quality and texture, and I'm just looking forward to having him. I want to learn a little from him about how he actually picks clothes and materials, and I want to see how that'll transition into yarn. He was a little hesitant, but now he seems more excited about going to Knit City, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't think I'll be purchasing yarn as much. I don't think I'll be purchasing as much yarn at Knit City, but I want to have a feel of the yarn. For example, BFL yarns. I don't know what they are. I've heard of BFL and Masham in a lot of podcasters have been talking about BFL and Masham. I know it's supposed to be soft and it's supposed to bloom, but I really don't know what it is like. I also want to look at woolen spun yarns. So those are two things I'm really looking forward to feeling, touching, getting an idea of what it would be in a swatch. And I also want to see what a fiber festival is going to look like. This is going to be the first fiber festival I've ever been to, so I'm looking forward to that. The first time I was ever in a yarn store was at Knits. I managed to not purchase anything, but there were so many wonderful yarns. I think just the idea of having that many options put me off from purchasing something, and I don't know how Knit City is going to be different from that. Like I said, I do not have a plan. If I do purchase something, I think it would be maybe one or two skeins, and I'm gonna see if they go with each other to make a scarf or a shawl. I'm going to use it as a token of memory to Knit City. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to Knit City. Other than that, there's not much happening. The sun has been out and hidden sometimes. It's been very confusing, and so I decided that no matter what, I'll just sit down and record today. I know when I started it was bright, but it is a little cloudy and dull now. I've been trying to stay happy and excited with just some warm drinks, a little baking. I've been trying a little cooking, and I am just waiting for the clocks to turn. I'm waiting for longer evenings, and I'm just waiting for spring. If you are like me, please let me know. I feel like there are a lot of people around me who love the cold, who love winter, and I do not know how they get by. They enjoy winter, they enjoy going out for walks, and I feel like they're crazy people. And so I'm just waiting for spring. If you are like me, please let me know. It would be nice to have some company, but yes, just let me know if you are somebody like me. Well, other than that, thank you for joining me and letting me give you company while you knitted or crocheted, or cooked or baked. And it was lovely just catching up and giving an update. So until next time, I hope you enjoy yourself and have a good time with whatever craft you are working on. I'll see you. Bye.